she would rather be with a man that is less successful, less intelligent. Not that she'd rather be, but she'd be more submissive to a man who's less successful, less intelligent, might even be a bit shorter, but he doesn't fall for nonsense. He knows when she's trying to manipulate him. She can't trick him, she can't manipulate him. Of course we want someone richer and taller, but the baseline of that only matters if you're more intelligent than us. And we don't define intelligence by financial success. We define intelligence by, can I manipulate you, yes or no? One thing about women is they don't really care so much about who you are. They care more about how you make them feel. So what I mean by this is you can plan an amazing date where it's a gorgeous restaurant, you pick her up, you're wearing a really nice outfit, all of these things. But she catches you staring at another woman, or you're on your phone the whole time. If you make her feel ignored or rejected, immediately she loses all interest. When a woman is in love with a man, she can't help but play stupid games because it's part of a protection strategy. So what she'll do is say she's done when she's not done, or say she doesn't want to sleep with you when she does want to sleep with you. She'll say the opposite of what she truly means. But having female friends helps you understand the human psychology behind a woman in a way that direct experience with them won't. When you have a man who's very nice, who's very good to you, but he's also honest and he's also sincere, he'll say to you, oh, that looks terrible. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh my God, don't handle that. And even though it might be hard to hear, you start to trust their opinion. You start to recognize they're not a people pleaser. You recognize their masculinity. You recognize that this is attractive, and you recognize that truth means something to this person. And we're always attracted to people who are attached to the truth, not people who are attracted to peace. There's only one thing that all women want. People will tell you that they want money, they want someone tall, they want someone stronger. The reality of hypergamy for a woman is only by one metric. It's our ability to manipulate a man. Yeah? We will only respect men we can't manipulate. You can be shorter than us, you can be poorer than us, you can be dumber than us in all other regards, but if we can't trick you, we'll still give you some respect. But if you're richer than us, taller than us, got more degrees and more qualifications, but we can trick you and we can manipulate you and we can derive resources, we cannot see you as a body to respect. The problem with men is they are far more naive than women. Majority of women, if you tell them that I saw your boyfriend talking to this girl, within 2 minutes she's investigating, and within 5 minutes she's screaming down the phone at him. You tell that to that man who will say no to women, who will reject women, who disrespect him in private, even if she makes him look good in public, that suggests he has true confidence. And we're always looking for a man who has authentic confidence over false confidence. What really makes a man high value is a really high level of self-esteem, and self-esteem simply comes from self-respect. What self-respect looks like is doing what's best for you, even if you want to give in to your current desires. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, this woman is fantastic and she's great sex, but you know she's dangerous, you know she's chaotic. The man that can't walk away from that woman and hyper attaches to her is automatically low value, because he has allowed one desire to dictate all his behavior. High value men can suppress some of their current desires for their long-term vision of themselves. They have the ability to practice self-control in different areas of their life. When you meet a man who doesn't call, doesn't text, between dates he has nothing to talk about, women lose interest. They just do. They find it like pathetic, boring, like they don't enjoy that. So having consistent communication that is filled with emotional intimacy will make you far more attractive. The difference between being nice and being a good guy is the nice guy desexualizes himself by foregoing what he truly wants for the sake of peace and harmony. So what he will do is, a nice guy might feel uncomfortable with the situation, but because he doesn't want confrontation, he will sacrifice truth in order to gain harmony. But what the reality is, women are attracted to somebody who is able to tell the truth. I always say to men, you will never ever get the same level of respect and love from a woman who's not attracted to you. Choose a woman who's attracted to you. When you try and bypass that because you want a woman out of your league and you just want that, she can be out of your league as long as she's still attracted to you. Some women are just attracted to you regardless, so she has to be attracted. And how you measure how attracted she is to you is how much a physical affection she initiates. But when we're attracted to a man, we constantly initiate physical contact. When a woman loves a man more than he loves her, the relationship lasts a lot longer because she's willing to fight through the rough times. But when a man likes a woman more than she likes him, he becomes emasculated. He loses his masculinity to please her. He becomes a people pleaser. He'll bend over backwards. And in his desperate attempt to keep her, he loses the attraction even more so. Gone are the days where girls will appreciate that. Instead, they will actually use that as they use that man as a punching bag. What makes a man super attractive is his ability to embrace rejection. Now, what we mean by this is, of course, nobody likes to be rejected. It's a horrible feeling. But here's how to handle rejection. When a woman doesn't want you, the first thing, you don't take it personal. You don't take it personal. Secondly, you accept her opinion. What the weak men will do is, when a woman rejects him, he'll fight harder. He wants her more. We don't really want a guy that persistent. The gracious way to handle rejection is say, oh, okay, no worries, I wish you all the best, you're a great girl, and whoever ends up with you is the lucky man. And you keep it moving. You keep it moving. You leave with a compliment and you keep it moving. The compliment will leave her thinking you're a great guy and keeping the door open to some extent. Then moving on will show her that you've got alternatives, and then she will respect you more. But the insults or the clinging on, don't do it. It just cements your failure for this woman. When women cheat, forgive. When your woman cheats on you, it's harder for them to come backwards from cheating. Very difficult to forgive her. I wouldn't recommend it. I highly don't recommend it, because for a woman to cheat on you, it's not that she's fallen in love with another man. She's just definitely not in love with you.
Ooh, man,
and so for you to take her back is just providing her free accommodation until she meets a man she wants to fall in love with. And I would, like, a lot of men think, oh no, women are so emotionally attached to sex. And some women can literally have an affair with a local PT who doesn't care about her, and she doesn't really care about him. It's what's the driving force is not the love for the guy that she's cheating on. It's a lack of love and respect for the man she's cheating on.
Interesting.
And so when you forgive her and retry with the relationship, she's already decided she doesn't really want to be with you. Even the good girl can turn bad if she's starved of attention from her man. If your man is pouring water into your cup on a daily basis, she can't see other men. She becomes blind to other men. But you know, when your man, you look beautiful, he doesn't say you look nice, or you don't make time for each other, he ignores you, no longer gives you attention. She's so starved in that moment that unfortunately all it takes is one man to give one bit of attention. She'll zoom in on the attention, forget all the other red flags in this man, and he'll become attractive to her because it's a feeling she's chasing, not a person. Beauty is essential to be high value as a woman, not because I believe it, but because this is what men respond to. Naturally nurturing and caring is really important. If she's not family orientated, I know that sounds a bit like, old fashioned, but family orientated and nurturing women naturally enjoy looking after men. But the main thing I would say to be a high value woman is always you have ability to reject attention. High value women can reject attention from men all day, every day. Compliments mean nothing, attention means nothing, because they look for something more valuable than that. High value women would be looking at your choices in your life, and they would be choosing a man who makes really good decisions, has really good self-control, treats her really well. You can't buy them through attention and money. So if you are a man who's such a mess and you've got no self-control, you've got nothing going on in your life, and you've got a beautiful woman, she's still not high value, because if she was truly high value, she wouldn't have selected you. Good men who are genuinely just going into a relationship with good intention and who don't think that women are playing all these games and don't think there's all this competition, they don't want to be toxic. So what will happen is, if she is doing some disrespectful behavior, the good man who's just generally just trying to have a good relationship will think it's mean of me to have too many boundaries. They'll think it's mean of me to tell her that I don't really feel comfortable with her going on so many girls' trips. They kind of just want to be like good, and they say allow it, and as a result they get mistreated. Handsome men. they don't necessarily end up with the most beautiful women. Where the normal man would have to go pursue women, handsome men get into this zone of life where women come to them, which is a very like trippy kind of way of experiencing it. But women come to them, so they are used to it being that way around. So when a woman's not approaching them, they assume she's not interested. They don't realize the natural pursuit is he should be chasing or he should be initiating. Men can never understand why females can have male friends, but we tend to believe that we can have male friends. And the reason why we kind of think like this is because we would rather have a friend who secretly loves us than a female friend that secretly hates us. Usually when men don't like each other, they separate from each other. Women, when they don't like each other, they'll make reservations together and they'll still keep in each other's lives. Where men, if they play a sport together, they can pretty much be friends. For us, you can do everything right with a female friendship. All it takes is a birthday gone wrong or a boyfriend that they don't like, and the entire friendship is destroyed. And there's a safety in a male friendship that we can't find in female friendships, because it's very difficult to find women that are totally not threatened by you in any way, shape or form. The other thing is, I just think if you are a woman or a man of value, isn't it natural that men, women, old, young, everybody's going to gravitate towards you and want to be around you? It's a natural consequence of being a valuable person. If I'm a girl that only talks about hair and makeup, of course I can only have female friends. But if I'm a woman that can have a lot of different types of conversations, it's natural to be able to connect with different type of people. The reason why I encourage everybody to be fully faithful in relationships, men and women, and I encourage them to be faithful and committed, is because you get to the outcome sooner. And what I mean by this is, if I'm dating you and I'm fully committed to you, I'm fully loyal to you, and then I realize you're still disrespectful, you're not being kind to me, you're not giving me attention, I know I did my best. Bye. But if I'm talking to other guys, I'm posting online, I'm like, well, I also did this, and maybe that's why he did that, and guys will be like, well, I always slept with other girls, maybe that's why she slept with her ex. They muddy the water so much that they end up accepting toxicity in the relationship. If you vet a woman correctly and you stand by your boundaries and you select correctly, you will never have a problem with women. But when you allow them to disrespect you, when you break your boundaries, when you accept the unacceptable, of course you're going to have problems, not just with women, with everybody. So it's making men feel like women are these like awful kind of enemies. But the reality is, I don't struggle with getting a man to be nice to me because I don't accept a man that's not nice to me. Mm-hmm. So therefore I can't relate to that girl that's like, men are trash, this and the other, because I'm just like, well, I don't allow that behavior to enter my life. Similarly, if a man is talking about women are this, women that, what it signals is you've allowed unacceptable behavior. That's on you. You have to take accountability for that. So if we start taking accountability for our selection process, we won't be red pill, black pill, blue pill. We will just be healthy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do women find attractive?
If I was trying to say one word that women find attractive, I would just say masculinity. And what I mean by masculinity, and I know that I keep talking about this, but I promise you, women find boundaries very attractive. They pretend that they don't. Here's the thing. They'll say, you can't tell me what to do.
Send this to my girlfriend.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, here's the thing. They'll say, you can't tell me what to do. I'm my own woman, this, that, and the other. But there's something so attractive about a man that says, who's not a people pleaser. When you're with a people pleaser, what happens then is you just can't get that same chemistry for him because he just likes what you like. Whereas when he's not a people pleaser and he lets you know what's what, there's something so attractive about that, because then what happens is you can allow him to lead. You can give him some of the decision making. Now, when my partner is not a people pleaser, I can just be like, oh, what should I do in this situation? What should I do in that you need to do da da da. And I'm like, oh, I feel shy saying that. And he's like, no, da da da, because he's not a people pleaser. But if he was a people pleaser, I couldn't make those phone calls. I can't ask him, do I look nice in this? Yeah, you look nice. Should I go here? Yeah, whatever you think. I'm not getting anything from that. Therefore, I can't submit because I can't trust him to lead. So I think the boundaries and not being a people pleaser is the most attractive thing to a woman.
So from a guy's perspective, they will have their own idea about what guys find or what girls find attractive. So what would you say the flip side to that is? So like
what men find attractive in women? I think without them realizing, I think the real thing that they find attractive in women is a woman who is incredibly nurturing. I think no matter how self-sufficient and how masculine a man is, but when a woman takes care or predicts his needs before he says it, he can't help but melt. So if she knows he might be hungry and there's something ready, if she knows that he might be tired, there's a coffee ready, if she knows that he's got work in the morning, he's going to be in a rush, there's a shirt ironed. These kind of nurturing acts makes a man feel loved. And I don't think they realize it because they're so conditioned to not expect that from women anymore and see that as oppressive and see that as toxic. They're just like, oh no, I don't even expect that. But when they receive it, they act like babies, like just received an opened present. They're like, oh, coffee for me? Like, you know, like you did that for me? And it's like, oh yeah. And I think they don't realize that that is actually their universal love language.
You never mentioned looks there at all in either one.
They do matter, but you know, to each their own. And honestly, there's a market for everybody. There is a market for everybody. You can be attractive, unattractive, tall, short, fat, skinny. There's a market for everybody. There's somebody who will find you attractive. Some people are luckier than others, but the reality is there's a market for everybody.
I want to ask you about you know, like, so on the attractiveness side and on like the physical components, do you think that's kind of been taking a little bit far out of context recently with the fact that, you know, as you mentioned, like guys can take steroids, girls can get any type of surgery these days, but to go like more and more extreme?
Well, here's the problem. It's ideal. It's why we're having so many short-term relationships, because it's like putting a plaster over a broken leg. Like you can cover it and this, that, and the other, but the reality is it needs fixing. And so what's happening is people are masking their insecurities with a beautiful package, but when they get together, it takes a relatively insecure person to invest so much into their appearance. That insecure person is then going to attract another insecure person, but they haven't worked on the vulnerabilities that's causing a disconnect. So I think that's why we're so focused on short term, because looks is a very short term strategy. So if we put emphasis on that, we're emphasizing what makes short term connections. So it's sad, but it is the way of the world. I can't, you know.
But it's also been around for so long though.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like,
life.
I know it's been like, you know, it's like 10 times worse like now. But
Yeah,
if
it's
you, so I was
life.
thinking like if you went back to the 70s and 60s, they were like the first boob jobs. And
Yeah,
then,
but here's the thing. I know, like, I'm a psychologist and stuff like that, and people always say, oh, you know, you're a psychologist, you wear makeup and this, that, and the other, like I shouldn't, or something like that. But I'm always going to wear makeup. I'll wear it on my funeral if I have to, yeah? So, but here's the thing. Looks matter. And if you aren't attractive, that doesn't matter, but you can still be attractive, as in you can take care of your body, you can take care of your physique, you can take care of your outfits, and this looks matter. And the reason they matter is they're a signal of your self-esteem. What I mean by this is, and I'm talking for myself as well, when I'm not feeling good and I've maybe gained weight or something like that, I'm in black, this, that, and the other, it signals, it's my signal to the world, don't look at me. But when I'm feeling good, looking good, I make more of an effort. Now, the reality, when I have clients come to me, especially men, and they say they're feeling low and this, that, and the other, if they're overweight, I say, you need a PT, not a psychologist. Go to a PT first.
I love that.
I'm such a bitch.
Because
I'm like, you're too fat to be here.
But it's
I'll
true,
say it.
though.
I'll say
You
it
have
to
to
them.
take care of yourself.
I'm like, okay,
Confidence.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to have a conversation with you, boost your ego for 10 minutes, and then you're going to go eat cake. What is the point of that conversation? Fix your body first. I promise you won't even need me.
And think of how difficult it is to get all those things right. So training, nutrition, diet, sleep, have all that stuff in check, even professional side of stuff. Not even make loads of money, but if you just get a good job, or it's a job that makes you respect yourself, then you bring that to the dating market, whether you're in a bar talking to a girl or if you use an app to talk to a girl.
And you're not grateful every time a girl looks at you, because you're like, well, I look after myself and this, that, and the other. It's abundance.
Versus scarcity.
And here's the thing. I work with many CEOs and successful men. They tend to have very predictable routines. They wake up stupid early and they tend to get their workout out the way. They work out stupid time in the morning, and you know, by stupid o'clock they finish, and they usually just eat one meal a day. And so I'm not saying that this is optimal, but the most successful men I know are strict with what they put into their body, because it's a signal of self-respect. Now, same thing with women. This whole body shaming culture and this, that, and the other, and you know, I could be very taken out of context, but here's the thing. If you're an overweight woman coming to me to say, how do I build confidence? You go to your gym. I can't do it for you, because what's causing your lack of confidence is your inability to respect your body. You have to respect it first, and that includes not just the food you put in, who you share it with, everything. You have to respect your body. So until you lose the weight, it's limited what I can do for you.
100%.
Yeah.
I think there's so many nuances to that. Like, and I've been training for 13, 14 years for this exact reason. Because
were you ever a personal trainer?
No, I was going to go down the route of the fitness side of things, but I actually like my background's in software, like software engineering.
Oh wow.
Well, mixed with kind of business as well. So I wanted to. I actually built a PT app.
Amazing.
When I was 18.
When you were 18? Is it still around? Or
it's from my final year college
amazing.
project. But then
you make apps?
So my background's in software, and I've obviously pivoted into the podcast world.
Oh, amazing.
So I worked with some like big scale-up companies, startup companies.
Amazing.
But what I'm trying to say is that I've just always had that passion, that interest, and I've just even here, like as in I went to Tam Khan's gym,
training
training there.
Yeah.
I just like.
But here's the thing: I'm not passionate about working out, and I love food. I really do. I don't enjoy the gym. It doesn't do it. The people that love it and stuff like that. I've been doing it for years and years. I've never developed that love for it. But the reality is, I have to do it because otherwise, I suffer psychologically. I suffer. I know I'll suffer. Like in Ramadan, I can't really work out. I can cut my food, but I can't really work out. I see the change in my body. I see how I don't like myself as a result. I psychologically suffer. So I go regardless, even if you don't have that. Because so many people say, oh, I hate the gym. I don't have time for the gym. If you don't have time for the gym, you should definitely not have time to eat so much. Eat less, compensate, do something. 100%. But food comes, body comes first. It's mind, body, and soul. We're holistic humans. We can't work on one without the other. It won't work.